Welcome to Module 6, our final module before we wrap up the course. We've built understanding, developed skills, managed risks, and created strategy. Now we execute. This module is about making AI real in your organization. And execution almost always starts with pilots. A pilot is a controlled experiment, a way to test an AI initiative on a limited scale before committing to full deployment. Done well, pilots de-risk your AI investments and build the evidence and confidence needed to scale. Done poorly, they waste resources and create cynicism. Let me show you how to design pilots that actually work. First, let's be clear about why pilots matter. They serve several purposes. Validating assumptions. You think this AI solution will work for your context. The pilot tests that assumption with real data and real users. Learning fast. A pilot reveals what you didn't anticipate. Technical challenges, user reactions, process changes needed. Better to learn these with 10 users than 10,000. Building evidence. A successful pilot provides concrete evidence to justify broader investment. It's much easier to get budget and executive support when you can point to demonstrated results. Managing risk. If the pilot fails, you've limited your losses. If issues emerge, you can address them before they affect the whole organization. Now, let's look at how to design a pilot that achieves these purposes. There are 7 key elements. Element 1, clear scope. Define exactly what you're testing. What use case, which process, which user group. The temptation is to include too much. Resist it. A focused pilot generates clearer learning than a sprawling one. Good scope definition answers, what specific problem are we solving? For whom? Using what approach? A pilot to test AI in customer service is too broad. A pilot to test AI-assisted response drafting for Tier 1 email inquiries in the UK support team is focused. Element 2, success metrics. Before you start, define what success looks like. What metrics will you track? What results would justify scaling? What results will signal the pilot should stop? Be specific. Improved efficiency is not a metric. Reduce average email response time from 4 hours to 1 hour is a metric. Higher customer satisfaction is not a metric. Maintain customer satisfaction scores at or above 4.2 out of 5 is a metric. Element 3, duration. Set a clear time frame. How long will the pilot run? This should be long enough to generate meaningful data, but short enough to maintain focus and urgency. Typical pilot durations range from 4 to 12 weeks, depending on complexity. Too short, and you won't see real patterns. Too long, and pilots become permanent, never quite finishing, never quite scaling. Element 4, participant selection. Who will participate in the pilot? This matters more than many realize. Choose participants who are representative of the broader population you'll eventually serve. If you only pilot with enthusiasts, you'll overestimate adoption. If you only pilot with skeptics, you'll underestimate potential. Aim for a mix that reflects reality. Element 5, comparison baseline. To know the AI made a difference, you need to compare against something. What's the current state? If possible, maintain a control group. Users doing the same work without AI, so you can compare results. At minimum, measure the current state before the pilot begins. Otherwise, you'll have no way to quantify improvement. Element 6, support structure. Pilots need support. Who will participants call when they have questions? Who will troubleshoot technical issues? Who will collect feedback? Under-supported pilots fail not because the technology doesn't work, but because problems don't get addressed. Assign clear support responsibilities. Element 7, learning capture. How will you capture what you learn? Quantitative metrics are part of it, but qualitative insights matter too. What's working? What's frustrating? What did you not anticipate? Plan for regular check-ins with participants, not just end-of-pilot surveys. The most valuable insights often emerge mid-pilot when you can still adjust. Let me flag some common mistakes I see in pilot design. Scope creep. The pilot starts focused, Then people add features, add users, add use cases. Soon you're not piloting, you're implementing badly. Protect your scope. No success criteria. Without predefined success criteria, every pilot can be called a success or a failure, depending on narrative. Define success upfront. Volunteer bias. If you only include enthusiastic volunteers, you learn how AI works with enthusiasts, not with the broader population. Include skeptics, like we mentioned before. Declaring victory too early. Early results can be misleading. Novelty effects, extra attention, selection effects. Wait for stable data before drawing conclusions. Pilot purgatory. Some pilots never end. They just keep running indefinitely, never scaling, never stopping. Set an end date and honor it. At the end, decide. Scale, iterate, or stop. Let me close with a perspective on the purpose of pilots. The goal isn't to prove that AI works. You can find ways to make almost any pilot look successful if you try. The goal is to learn what works, what doesn't, and what it would take to scale successfully. A pilot that surfaces problems is valuable. Those problems exist whether you find them or not. Better to find them in a pilot than after full deployment. Approach pilots with genuine curiosity, not with the need to validate a predetermined conclusion. In the next lecture, we'll tackle measurement in depth, how to define the KPIs and measure the return on investment of your AI initiatives.